You see, my gorgeous Capricornius, it is about this specific person in your life. Somebody really, really specific, somebody really important to you, somebody quite close to you. It's going to play such a huge role, and because that person is gonna make a huge impact on your life. That person is going to remind you of something that means to you so much. That person is going to remind you of some kind of a path that you've been working on for so long, some kind of achievement, something that you achieved a while back, but you were meant to take on to the next level of your spiritual journey. This particular person is literally your guiding light right now. And you know how many times I say this, my gorgeous Capricornius, how much those precious people in our lives mean to us, okay? It's to do with the people that we cannot choose to be part of our spiritual journey. I mean, I know this sounds morbid, you know what I mean? It's people who we cannot choose. I'm only saying this because sometimes, you know, people have wars, and people have arguments with those people who are meant to be the closest to them, like with a certain family members and things like that. This is only because sometimes people are completely brutally honest, but then again, this is with us, just because they're directly related to us or directly connected to us or so close to us that they're not worrying too much whether certain things are going to affect us in a negative way or not. But sometimes they are rather brutal, you know what I mean, with their honesty. But this is ever so needed, you know, in our lives. They are playing a really specific roles. And you know, I mentioned this before, it's like our guiding lights in the middle of the actual darkness. And sometimes these people are really kind of like right there when we are having such a powerful breakthrough, and we are very close to our breakthrough, but we don't really realize this. And they're also there, these people, when one cycle of our spiritual journey is coming to an end. Whenever one cycle is coming to an end, another cycle is about to begin. So this is exactly what is going to happen. Just see these people and this particular person who is going to come up here. This particular person, my gorgeous Capricornius, it's somebody in your life indeed. And you just need to understand these people. They're like our guiding lights in the middle of the darkness. That's exactly what is going to happen. So now suddenly, right at the beginning of this week, you are going to be reminded of some kind of achievement that you had. Listen to me very carefully. This is important. You are going to be reminded of some kind of achievement that you've had, that you found so rewarding, that you find so pleasing, that you find like in such a way where this was probably one of the biggest accomplishments of your entire life, and you were so happy at the time, you were so excited at the time, and that was a while back, and you were meant to take that on the next level. You were meant to do something with that, but you didn't. The only reason why you didn't do anything with this, it's only because you were stopped momentarily, because there were other things that came up, and also by taking this on another level, this was a lot to do with you kind of exploring further and learning something and finding out more about something really specific before you even think about to start with. So there were other things that were involved that kind of put you off, but now this is going to be imminent. It's going to be impossible for you to ignore, because this is the part of who you are. This is the part of your spirit. This is the part of your soul. There was so much happening in your life, you know, that took your attention without you even realizing. There was so much happening in your life that actually stole your attention without you even realizing. Maybe you had some kind of radio on very often with like a constant downer on the radio, constant negativity on the radio. Maybe you had a TV on with constant negativity, which is, it is indeed, it's a constant negativity. Maybe you've just went on the certain social networks where there is like a constant negativity, and then people get tangled in this web of absolute sadness and darkness, and it's very difficult to find that guiding light. And this is why it's so important to completely snap out of it. I suggest you to once again, my gorgeous Capricornius, pay attention to what you are listening to without even realizing. Maybe there was some kind of radio in the background. Maybe you shouldn't kind of go on a certain social networks instead of going on a social, because something was affecting you, something was making you think dark, and something was creating this blockage, and I can clearly see it. And maybe if you you know, if you don't know what am I talking about, I'm really sorry, but this is exactly what I see. And the problem here is that basically something was affecting your balance and it was coming from somewhere else, and you need to pay attention to this, because later on this can become really damaging. You really need to snap out of it immediately if you possibly can. So even if you don't, maybe you're doing it without even realizing. Maybe you're just going on a certain social network, like as soon as you wake up in the morning. And lots of people do. This is a sad thing about it. A lot of people do go into certain social networks as soon as they wake up in the morning, and they're just going one sadness after another sadness, one darkness after another darkness, one sadness after another sadness. Come on, man, enough with this sadness and darkness. So try to snap out of it. It's so important. Try to like connect to things, spiritual things. You know how internet used to be. It used to be wonderful and really spiritual, really nice. Everybody would find a little bit of themselves in something and just take that on another level, connect to it, reconnect to it, and just a kind of like evolve in this particular way, the way you should be evolving. Like this, people have stopped evolving in the way they should evolve, because now they are blocked subconsciously, because all this negativity that you're actually reading and becoming aware of is like kind of creating these blockages around you. It's closing the doors that should be open to start with. So this is why you really need to snap out of it, my gorgeous Capricornians. This is so important. And I repeat, maybe you're doing it without even realizing, and maybe you're like kind of fully aware of, but you need to kind of bring this to an end, because it's like kind of going to become very kind of toxic and horrible like later on. Okay, very important indeed, because lots of things that are going on right now have been kind of creating a blockage because of that. And you would be surprised how people can be kind of sometimes, you know, controlled through the actual subconscious mind. It's absolutely mental without people even realizing. You know, you're seeing the same adverts, you're seeing the same things, you're seeing the same movies. You know, even they can't even make a normal movie anymore without any kind of nonsense in it. You know what I mean? So this is why you just have to like maybe really try to look at the bigger picture and step away from it as soon as you possibly can, and try to focus only on things that are elevating you spiritually, that are making you feel good. You know, try to find something unusual about yourself, like for example, or something spiritual, or something that makes you feel good, like photography or painting or whatever, and try to connect to this and see what a mind-blowing difference this is going to bring into your life in terms of the vibration and energy. You are really within the next few weeks going to be something completely different indeed. But anyway, going back to the beginning of this week, this is brilliant, because that particular person is really going to remind you of that some kind of achievement that you've had. They're going to be completely honest with you, and this is somebody who you are very much so connected to. So after this moment, you know, you are really going to make this decision that you really want to kind of take this on the next level, and you're really going to go into this thinking mode, how you're actually going to do this. And there are going to be so many ideas that you're going to have, and they're going to be like about 2 or 3 ideas that you've never had before, but it's all going to be leading towards the same point, like you wanting to kind of move on with your life. And this is going to be your spiritual key, the spiritual door which you are going to open, and how exactly you're actually going to do this. This is so important. Listen to me very carefully. It's to do with an achievement or something that you've done that you felt so proud of, something that you've been working on, something that means to you so much, something that is so personal to you, something that you love doing. You love expressing yourself. But just, you know, the reason why I said about all these social networks and all that, this is the bastard that makes people to lose themselves in a darkness when there is so much light. So now you're coming on top and you're about to start following your own light, my gorgeous Capricornians. And yet the power of those people in our lives, in your life, it's actually going to be highlighted. This is going to recenter you like never before. This is going to ground you like never before. You will know exactly what do you need to do, because there are going to be so many ideas, but you need to understand that in as little as 10 months time you are going to realize exactly what an impact on your life this is going to make in exactly 10 months time. 10 11 12 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. So at around by the end of August 2024, by the end of August 2024, something absolutely miraculous, mind mind-blowing, incredible. It's going to happen. You will see how your life is actually going to turn around. And I know some of you are going to attack me. Oh my God, I need to wait until the end of August. No, baby, no. This is going to go like this, because after this moment in time, there is a very colorful vibration and energy about to enter your life, enter your spiritual journey. You are going to feel so much lighter in terms of the actual energy, and there are going to be all sorts of directions that you are going to become aware of that were always there, but only now you are going to be ready to take them on. This is indeed something to do with a long-term success. Look at this. A long-term success when it comes to your finances, financial situation, doing the right thing, making an absolutely mind-blowing contribution, which is going to affect, make an impact on every single aspect of your life. But listen to me very carefully. It's going to lead towards probably the biggest manifestation of your life. It's going to lead towards the biggest manifestation of your entire spiritual journey while you were on this earth from the beginning, okay? So this is going to make the biggest manifestation of your life. And it's all going to boil down to, when you get this important message about a couple of days later, there is going to be such a significant message that you're going to get. And that significant message is going to kind of really provide you with a certain information. On one hand, the time is right, even more so. But on another hand, you will know exactly how to actually speed things up. You will know how to speed things up, but you're going to have to be clear and direct to start with yourself, and then with other people around you as well, because this comes with being direct, clear, putting your foot down, but also setting the boundaries as well, because this is all about you now knowing exactly this possibility. It's just going to be staring at you in your face. Now suddenly after that, it's all going to boil down to one particular possibility. This possibility that this is all going to boil down to, it has so much attached to it, so many things, so many bright, it's a one possibility, but as the time goes by, there's going to be more and more and more kind of other things that are going to come with it. This is absolutely crazy, and it's also to do with possibility, starting something new, but then at the same time, you are going to have this absolutely mind-blowing good omen as well. And I'm not surprised that you are going to have this sign and a good omen as well. And this sign and a good omen is going to come from some kind of a bird again. I know I've been talking about birds, but birds are pretty much so very powerful spiritual messengers, that they come into our lives. They tap into our dimension only before something really great and really amazing happens, when something major happens. So there is going to be the bird at around the time that you're going to see, but there is something going to be really specific about that bird. You either have never seen the bird like this before, or maybe it's going to make a really strange noise, maybe it's going to make a really strange sound, maybe the color, it's going to be weird. Again, there is something going to be weird about this bird. Maybe you've never seen the bird like this before. Do you know what I mean? However, there is going to be a very good omen around it, and almost as if that bird is going to crying to get your attention, or it's going to be somewhere unusual. It's going to be in an unusual place. Something is going to be so unusual when it comes to that bird. And I don't need to tell you this, because this is going to happen in such a way where it's going to be impossible for you not to notice this and not to pay attention to. On one hand, this bird is like the direct sign and the messenger as a good omen, how important this is going to be. But then on another hand, you need to understand that this is all to do with your vision in life. This is all to do with what you were planning to do for so long. And this is also to do with a big, big wish coming true. When it comes to you being able to do something like that you weren't able to do in terms of finances, for example, it's going to lead you towards being a fantastic provider. For example, in terms of finances, this is going to be brilliant, but it's more about you just being honest with yourself and finally knowing what a huge change this is actually going to bring into your life at a time where you, my gorgeous Capricornius, absolutely least expected this whatsoever. Absolutely mind-blowing in so many different ways. Oh my goodness, I love this so much. And I can see clearly that there is somebody also oh my goodness, you know, I can see that people are pretty much so being very highlighted when it comes to this week as well, because somebody who I can see you worrying about someone, you've been worrying about really specific person having some kind of a burden, and like somebody very close to you, maybe a family member or a friend, somebody who was on your mind lately who has some kind of a burden, something very, very difficult that they're dealing with. You know that they're going to become aware of this possibility, that there is something that they want to do about that burden, and they're not going to be sure about it whatsoever, like whether they want to do this or not. And this is someone gorgeous, someone really beautiful, someone really wonderful, someone very caring, somebody who cares about other people so much, bless their heart. Somebody really gorgeous is this in so many different ways. But because there are other things and other pressures going on in that person's life, they are not going to be able to kind of understand this the importance of this possibility. But as soon as you hear this possibility to sort their problem and their burden out, you will clearly understand, oh my God, they need to do this, they need to do this. Please, for the love of God, just go there and make them aware of the fact that they need to do this. They're waiting for you. That person is waiting for you to say this to them. So it means that you have a massive impact on that person's life. And as soon as you do this, that problem, that burden, it's going to be resolved. But then at the same time, there is something else that you're going to realize, the specific information, something really wise that you're going to find out, that you will kind of really want to apply to your life as well. And it's just nothing to do with this, but the way it's going to happen, it's going to be mind-blowing. And yet again, you're going to understand the power of your own intuition and the power of how everything is connected. So for the love of God, please, when you become aware of this possibility for this person in your life, just do it. Because not because you're going to get something out of it, but because it is somebody who means to you so much, my gorgeous Capricornians, indeed. By the time you get to the mid part of this to the mid part of this week, you know what I want to highly recommend you, and I did recommend this before. Please do not forget to take like a natural B vitamin in a liquid form if you possibly can. I do know that I recommended this to you when it comes to like a monthly reading for October as well, and it's just so important to mention because it is going to give you energy, because energy is something that you're going to find quite beneficial, because a lot is going to be going on, and maybe you are going to be stressed a little bit, but not like because of your situation, but because something else that you're going to be watching, something else that you're going to become aware of. So maybe some other people are going to be involved, something that is really going to stress you again. You see what I mean, this darkness, you know, and that's why I just would absolutely highly recommend you to take a natural B vitamins in a liquid form if you possibly can. It's going to be brilliant for stress, brilliant for anxiety, but it's also going to give you energy from the first moment you wake up. B vitamins are absolutely fine to take on an empty stomach in the morning, so but I suggest you to take it in a liquid form because it's much better. It's going to get into your bloodstream much quicker, and it's going to be so much more beneficial than any other form whatsoever. And then you just make sure that this natural B vitamin liquid is without any chemicals, without any rubbish, without any unnecessary additives. And you also need to make sure that this natural vitamin B liquid is indeed that every single vitamin is made in a natural way, opposed to like some kind of chemicals. No baby, no. So you take this, like put underneath your tongue the certain amount, it's just going to say at the back, I suppose, little sucker, you know, you put it underneath your tongue every single morning. As soon as you wake up, wait 20 seconds and then you just swallow. This is fantastic in terms of energy, but it's also, as I said, brilliant for stress, anxiety and other things as well. If you're on any other medications, if you're pregnant or if you're breastfeeding, you just need to check with your doctor or GP. Only your doctor or GP can tell you whether this can interact with your existing medications or not. So the mid part of this week, my gorgeous Capricornians, you know what? This is fantastic, but you have to be very careful. This is fantastic. You know, something is going to happen, something that you're going to come across, and it's going to be such an amazing moment of awakening, and you are going to kind of realize the power of living in a moment. But it's not only about that. The power of living in a moment, you know what I mean? You're not to waste anything. You're going to realize from midweek like that every single minute, second of our time should most certainly not be wasted. But on another note, you're also going to become aware of a few different possibilities. This is very important for you to pay attention to, my gorgeous Capricornians. At around the midweek, you're going to become aware of a few different possibilities, and they're going to be very interesting, but you need to avoid the devil. You need to avoid the devil, okay? So if it's too good to be true, no baby, no. If it's coming out to be some kind of temptation, no baby, no. There are going to be few different possibilities. The bottom line is one of them is going to be like a proper devil, like some kind of like a temptation, okay? And something that is too good to be true, okay? So avoid this little bastard, you know, something that is too good to be true. But then again, one of them, it's going to be only one possibility. It's going to be the right possibility, and I don't need to tell you what this is. This is going to come to you intuitively, but it's also going to come to you as in form of like saving money. You will know that by that particular possibility, this is also going to be superb for your finances and for your financial situation, and it's going to give you some kind of ability to save the money, for example. And this is not only about that, this is about the strength and confidence and self-esteem that it's actually going to come out of it just a couple of days later, where you are going to wake up in the morning and something is literally going to be on your mind. How much do you want to start something that was on your mind for ages? Something new, but that was on your mind for ages as well. Some kind of new project, some kind of new thing. It's not coming out of the blue. It was on your mind already, but only now you're gonna have a confidence and self-esteem to actually start this. The reason why this is happening is because you went for the right choice, you went for the right possibility, you went for the right option, and that in return has karmically rewarded you and guided you to this point of your spiritual life. It's yet again highlighted, you know, that the one cycle is coming to an end and another cycle is about to begin. This is to do with an important completion. This is going to lead at the same time towards an important completion, but also towards an important beginning. This is brilliant because it's indeed going to put you on the path towards the actual success. Absolutely brilliant. By the time you get to the last part of this week, my gorgeous Capricornians, this is fantastic. It's about the news and the message which you are going to have. You are gonna feel so proud of yourself. You're gonna feel so happy. You're gonna feel this is to do with a major accomplishment. This is to do with a major moment in time where you are gonna feel so victorious, because it's to do with something that you've been worrying about for so long. It's to do with something that was making you feel depressed. It's to do with something that was making you feel sad and negative, and it's to do with something that was making you worried that you're gonna need to talk and speak and sort something out with a certain people that you don't want to do this whatsoever. So now this victory, this is to do with something really personal. You are gonna be one step ahead, and this one step ahead means that you will not need to do what you don't want to do, that you don't have to do, that you don't need to do, that you must not do, especially when it comes to like a talking to the certain people or being a part of some kind of competition that would only drain your energy and would just kind of slow you down. There is a really wonderful male person who is actually going to cross your path. Can you hear it? The ice cream man. There is this wonderful male person who is going to cross your path. It's also like kind of going to you will understand through that person the power of being patient, okay, the power of waiting, and about that particular balance. And you're also going to understand through that person somehow that you are on the right path, and this is going to mean to you so much, because you felt a little bit lost for a while, which is naturally going to bring you to the point of you kind of trying to make a really important decision here. It's about contemplation. As soon as you find out that you are on the right path, as soon as you realize like, oh my God, well, like this is going to change so much, do you know what I mean, in my life, that's what you're going to realize. As soon as you realize that you're on the right path towards a success, this is naturally going to put you in a stage of this contemplation. It's more about how you're going to prepare for this particular progress in your life. And now suddenly you're going to start seeing things in a completely different light, and you you are gonna make, you will understand clearly what needs to go. You know, what do you need to do in order to make one of the wisest choices of your spiritual journey. Okay, my gorgeous Capricornians, thank you ever so much for watching my videos. I'm sending you brightest blessings, lots of love, healing, peace and light to every single one of you. Sasha Bonasin, psychic medium. Love you. Bye.